Ironhack is a tech school. Before COVID, we were a completely in-person tech school, meaning we had physical campuses and we were kind of teaching classes, and every campus was kind of like their own company. So basically, we had entities in like 8 countries, and we didn't have like global teams. So each country did the things their own, like they were kind of like working separately. When COVID came, we adapted completely the organization. So first thing, we changed to a remote environment, like teaching to our students. We continuing like live teaching, but instead of in person, it was totally remote. But then, we saw that the need to work a lot more as a global company. That was a challenge, but it also had a lot of benefits. And one of those was like actually, we created global teams, and like for those global teams, it didn't matter where those teams were located. So we actually started being able to get out of our specific markets to look for talent. And that was a challenge because, hire on locations that you don't have a legal entity, it's challenging. So Lano, kind of like the first use case that we saw with Lano was actually that one, was to actually expand those global teams in locations that we were not located at. And the second one that it also came with COVID, it's like we started, having the possibility of starting B2B deals. So, we were totally focused B2C organization. And with COVID, we started looking also into expanding to like a B2B type of deals. And on that side, we saw some opportunities in countries that we were not there either. But, it might make sense to like, test the market, see if like there was possibility to expand on the midterm. So, instead of, creating directly a legal entity, what we did was, hire a small team together with Lano, test the market. And if that market was, successful, then we created the legal entity. If it was not successful, then, we didn't have to go through the whole corporate process and legal process to make that happen. Yeah, so there were two things specific. One was the proximity of the team. Like having a team that was like we could have a relationship that was super direct. That like they were super fast answering and solving questions. It was critical for us because at the end of the day, you're playing with payroll, and like payroll should be the only thing that like cannot be moved, cannot be late. It should be like fine. So having a trustworthy partner was super important for us. Plus, like pricing was really competitive. So like the pricing offering by you guys was really good in terms of like the benchmark that we had. So both things combined, it made like Lano stand out of the different options that we looked at. Right now, we keep looking at expanding our remote offering. So that means like little and little testing new markets, and whenever see that like a market is starting to have traction, we might want to like open there, and like that like that solves kind of like the initial complexity. So that's point number one. And point number two, our global teams are growing, and right now we are looking into more markets, and that's the reality because talent it's tough. It's a tough aspect, especially when you're a global organization. You can hire from whenever, but like it's also hard because like markets are expanding. So the talent on the places that you're located, it's also kind of like looking at offers elsewhere. So we need to start looking internationally. We need to start looking in places that we're not located, and for us, having the possibility of not having the like countries as a variable that we have to filter out some candidates, it's actually super helpful.